I'm only happy when it rains. I'm only happy when it's complicated. And though I know you can't appreciate it, I'm only happy when it rains.
Alright, I'm going to do a quick review on both the Glock 41 and 42. I was lucky enough to travel to Las Vegas this past week and shoot both new firearms from our buddies at Glock. And I know that a number of people have, with trepidation, talked about why is Glock making a 380? Why are they bothering it? You know, they thought that Glock was too good for 380. But, you know, the truth of the matter is it's really about dollars, and the product is good. Now, I only have a full magazine through it, and the same for the Glock 41. But one company that a novice shooter comes to you and says, hey, I'm thinking about buying a gun, I've always wanted a gun, I'm in a situation where I think I need a gun. You can unequivocally say, well, get a Glock. You can absolutely, without being model specific, say, get a Glock. Now, the big new segment of the market is small personal defense pistols. And, you know, starting maybe with Kel-Tec and then going to Ruger and all these other companies. Some of them have more than one 380 option. It is a cash cow option. And Glock wasn't getting any of it. And Glock is a good company, and they make excellent products. And they needed to be there. They needed to be part of that market segment. And there's some forethought there too. Not only can a new shooter be recommended to get a Glock, maybe the littlest one, but if that same shooter has a good time, good results, positive experience with the Glock 42 or another one, a 9mm baby Glock maybe, then when he or she decides to move up to a bigger man stopper, starts getting in the range of 230 grains at 800 feet per second, that person will also choose Glock. And again, I will say this is very important. You cannot. You have a new shooter come to you, and he or she says, hey, I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at that, and what brand should I get? You can't say Ruger, because Ruger has some problems with some of their stuff sometimes. You definitely can't say Smith & Wesson. So if you go down the line, the only thing that you can straight up recommend is Glock. Or how about this? The only thing that I think you can be responsible in recommending by brand, and brand only, not model, is Glock. And the models make a difference too, you know, whether what you expect. And I, you know, have a Glock Model 30 and 45, so that's 10 plus 1. I think notable YouTuber and father of the review video, Nut and Fancy. This is a amazing sort of an amazing fortunate discovery that after I bought my Glock Model 30, I was looking for reviews on it after I'd already purchased it, and I got what I consider a great deal on it. And the Nut and Fancy review mentioned that it's a pocket freight train, and it really is. It's a great gun. All right, so to talk about Glock Model 42 and 380, you got to realize that it looks like a Glock, because it is a Glock, and it's made in America. And that's sort of a bonus too. I think the finish, there might be a slight difference in the finish compared to the older Glocks. That is some different, but hopefully similar finishing characteristics on the slide. And it is just a smaller Glock. And my experience, and I tell you, I was limited to one magazine. I guess I could have pressed it and shot some more, but I was essentially limited to one magazine. It was great. That man-sized target did not stand a chance. And out of the bat, out of the box, it is such a Glock. And I don't mean to say that and be sort of a jerk about it, but it points the same way. It feels the same as the larger pistols. So there is no transition from the larger guns to the smaller gun. There's no transition. It's intuitive. And I think that's another selling point for the Glock, that if, there was when I took driver's training in high school, in South Carolina, you get a 10% discount on your driver's training, with driver's training for your automobile insurance. It can be big bucks. That's at least a couple $100 for a high school kid, at least it was for me. But a local car dealer supplied us with Nissan Sentras. Bottom of the barrel, most entry-level car that you can imagine. Extremely slow, but sort of small and zippy, too. I mean, its size made it feel faster than it was. But I guess I'll presuppose that, or I will suppose that the reason this car dealer donated the cars was that if you took driver's training in a Nissan Sentra, then maybe, just maybe, you would choose to, maybe as your first real car, get a Nissan Sentra because it's something you're familiar with. Well, because I'm familiar with Glock, shooting my only one, and I am a Glock fan, but I'm not a Glock fanboy, and don't let this review, as it is, make you think that I'm a fanboy, because I'm not. I am a fan, but I don't have a Glock t-shirt or anything like that. I don't have a vanity tag on my car that says Glock or anything, and I receive no money from Glock, and I've never received a T&E gun, a testing and an evaluation gun, or anything like that from Glock. Only shooting my personal weapons and weapon, and those weapons of friends. That's my limited experience with the Glock, and I'm very happy. Alright, so the Mini Glock, the Ultimate Mini, the smallest Glock, it points really well. It makes you, again, off the bench, magazine in, rack the slide, every shot connected. No difficulty, no learning curve, no nothing. It's a great little gun. It's a little bigger than some of the other offerings. I think it's bigger than Ruger's 380. I believe it's bigger than Kel-Tec's 380, and I think at least in the Taurus has a couple of 380s. It's bigger than some of those. It's smaller, I believe, than Walther PPKS. So it gives you an idea of how big it is. But because it's a Glock, it points well, and there is no learning curve or difficulty or anything. So if you are a Glock shooter already and want a very small compact pistol, Glock 42 seems like it would be a good thing for you. Now, the problem, of course, is that you won't be able to get one this year probably, or you won't be able to get one at a price that you feel is reasonable. I expect that. I've actually purchased a gun today. Today I purchased a Ruger 2245 Light, and it's a gun that I've always wanted, and had an option to get one at a good price, cheaper than the slickguns.com best nationally advertised price. So I picked one up, and I'll let you know about how that is in the future. So Baby Glock is great. The tiniest number 4.2, made in America, made in Smyrna, Georgia, is a great little gun with my limited experience. Now, if extractors start breaking and things like that, I can only tell you that in the one magazine that I ran through the Glock 4.2, it was great. And it's like the Glock 4.2 might be a little bit like a Will Ferrell movie or a Adam Sandler movie, where you go to it or you see it, somebody has the DVD, and a lot of the greatness or the value in the performance has more to do with the actor's past endeavors and things that you have seen. I will accept that maybe, possibly, likely, that I like the Glock 4.2 so much because of my Glock 3.0 ownership and the good results I've received from shooting mine and other Glock pistols. So, if you are looking for the subcompact option, and you're already a Glock shooter, you cannot go wrong with buying the Glock 4.2. If you are the type of person that's known in your community, among your friends, to be a shooter, then someone might come to you and say, what should I get? And I think you can easily say that you should get the Glock 4.2 if you're looking for a super subcompact firearm that's not snappy at all. Maybe a hint of snap, but if you are recoil averse, if you are maybe buying a gun for a mom or a grandmother, someone that does not have a lot of strength in their hands, maybe somebody that has rheumatoid or osteoarthritis or some sort of other malady that limits hand strength and the ability to rack the slide on a firearm in its small size, the 4.2 takes less. So that might be a viable option. That might be something that you test out. If grandmother wants a handgun, as might be her desire, but is definitely her right. You want something that she will, if she's going to choose to carry, you want something that she can carry, that she can use. You want the tool that fits the job. And I think in a number of situations, the Glock 4.2 will do it. And on the accessory side, I don't know what's going to come. Are we going to get a 30-round magazine that hangs out of the bottom? I don't know, but I'm sure in short order, as these become available, that we will have a myriad of holsters and different things for the Glock 42. All right, switch gears a little bit and talk about the Glock 4.1. Both the biggest, the 4.1, and the 4.2, the smallest guns that Glock has. The Glock 4.2 is an excellent 45. Excellent. And again, my experience is limited to just one magazine, and that's unfortunate. But as a first look, I think you have an idea what that is, and it is really a high quality firearm. And you would expect nothing less. Even the entry level Mercedes is still a Mercedes. It's still pretty good quality. The entry level Honda, whether you consider it the Honda CRX, Honda Cervix as we used to call them, or the Honda Civic, or the Honda Fit, they're all Hondas, and their reputation is earned and deserved. So Glock 4.2 is the big one, the big 45, and they've taken some metal out of the slide. They've made it a little bit lighter that way, but it's everything that you would expect for a Glock. You know, some people call them block pistols because they're big and blocky, and they are not. Delicate, rare flowers that you might consider a Walther or a baby Browning, or even a Browning high power. Glocks are big and blocky, chunky, and extremely serviceable. And there's a video series, and I'm really disappointed that you cannot leave video responses anymore, but Fate of Destiny did a contest where you were supposed to tell about a gun, and in that I used my Glock 30 as my example, and I said, if you have a firearm you can't put in a dishwasher, maybe you ought to think about getting one you can. And not that I would ever put my Glock 30 in a dishwasher, but I do think that you could probably do it, and everything would probably work out. Everything would be all right. So the Glock 4.2 or the Glock 4.1, just like the 4.2, just like my personal firearm, points as well as my finger. Of course, there's no transition, there's no difficulty, there's no misunderstanding, there's no feeling or searching for controls. It's all the same, and it is a good performer. So either way, if you want a Glock 4.2 for a concealed carry weapon, you want a Glock 4.2 for new shooter, younger shooter, maybe older person, man or woman, if you need that type of thing, if you need some firearm for someone that doesn't have a lot of grip strength, I would consider the Glock 4.2. And if you're looking for a nightstand gun, if you're looking at mounting a rail-mounted accessory like a laser or light, if you want something that you want to go to war gun, I think, based on my brief experience and the Gaston Glock's recommendation or refutation, I think you could not do better, probably, than the Glock 4.1. So from SHOT Show 2014, an audio, that just as audio, I'm going to throw some pictures in here too. Consider, for whatever your philosophy of use would be, the two extremes, Glock 4.2 and Glock 4.1, and they're going to be sub $580 guns. So again, if you're comparing apples to oranges and Glocks to 1911s and German engineered, Austrian engineered to German engineered, Austrian engineered firearms, I think Glock's a winner. So until next time.